Okay, you made it to Newlands Corner, well done. Did you fall off? Is your bike clean or dirty? Well, while you're here, go and have a look at the other motorbikes that are normally parked up in the car park. Take a good look at the view, grab yourself a cup of tea, and then when you're ready, you're going to head off down Water Lane. Water Lane is the gravel path on the right hand side before you come up to the main road. Head down there, it's nice and easy. You drop down into Albury, and from there we're going to go on another couple of lanes before we finish in Shere about lunchtime. See you later. So when you go into the Newlands Corner car park, do look out for that gravel lane. You're going to head down the Water Lane. That brings you out on tarmac road. That takes you into Albury. You go past the lakes in Albury and you're looking out for a right-hand road. It's called New Road. Goes up the hill and effectively straight on. Stay on that road. You go over the railway line and around a few little bends and it brings you out into Farley Green. So this is the start of Water Lane. It's gravel all the way down. One of the things I've not spoken about yet is your ABS. So if you're on a relatively modern bike, you will have had an ABS option, and it's important that you get into the habit of switching it off. Some bikes' ABS systems switch it off completely, both on the front and rear wheel. Other ones, like on my Honda, it just switches it off on the back, so you can lock up the back wheel as you skid down steep hills, but the front one, the ABS still works on the front one. Anyway, Water Lane, lots of gravel coming down here. You could bomb it down here, but you've already picked up that that's not kind of the rider that I am. I just drop it down a gear and coast all the way down. If I'm honest, I've never seen horses here, but there's lots of walkers and lots of dogs as well. Now, I'm a dog owner. I love my dog. I would be super upset if anyone ran over my dog on a motorbike or on a mountain bike or on anything. So I'm pretty cautious, as you can obviously pick up on this. I think there's a pillbox, a World War II pillbox on the left hand side here. I can't remember. Yeah, there it is. So there's the World War II pillbox there. There's lots of them on this face of the North Downs. So now we're on the south face of the North Downs. So if you imagine if we would have been invaded, the armies would have swept in and the last line of defence before London would have been these hills. You come down here and you come down into Albury. Albury has some history too. So Albury as a village is on the Duke of Northumberland's estate. So a lot of this land is all Duke of Northumberland's estate. If you know anything about Duke of Northumberland, he's not short of a bob or two. The other ancestral home for the Northumberlands is in Alnwick up in Northumberland. Why they've got an estate down here, I don't know. So it's pretty easy down here. As green lanes go, this is super easy. It then turns into a tarmac lane and it brings you out on the road that takes you into Albury, and I think the video stops there. So just picking up on that ABS thing again, my bike has ABS. I just get into the habit of always switching it off. As soon as you turn your ignition off, you have to switch your ABS off again. I think that's the same on the KTMs as well. You can understand why the manufacturers do that. And at the junction at the end, just where that car is, you're going to turn left and it rolls you through Albury. So once you're in Farley Green, you're going to head up Ride Lane, which is sandy at the start, goes on for, this is a really nice lane, Ride Lane. Do look out for the turn off on the right hand side for Madgehole Lane. I'm not going to do it in this episode, might do it in another one. I love that one. Steep, wet, quite technical. we come out at the top of Ride Lane, left, left again, down some tarmac inevitably, Row Lane, and then a little road which seems to go on for absolutely ages, and then we're going to go down Ponds Lane, which is a nice simple one, into Shere, and the end of this episode stops in Shere, so it's a pretty short one, this. And then down that road into Shere. So in Farley Green, you see this green sand path across the green. When it's been dry, this is proper sand. And if you've not ridden on sand, well, hello. The idea is that you put all your weight over the back and you keep up speed and momentum. I've had some fun on sand. Stables on either side, and you've heard what I've said in other, in the first episode about horses, and horses do come up and down here. Okay, so this is narrow, sandy at the start, and then it turns into ruts. And the clever thing to do is to try and stay out of the ruts if possible by going on the banks on either side. And sometimes I'm more successful at doing this than I am other times. Watch out for that. At the bottom of Ride Lane, it's pretty sandy, but then it transitions and it gets rockier as you get up towards the top. And I have been with some other riders who absolutely cane it along here. Kind of sweeping from side to side. You can probably see how they do it. They kind of sweep from side to side, almost like skiing down it. Yeah, I've not got that capability. So obviously I'm standing up here and I'm looking up as well. When I first started riding, what I noticed was I was looking in front of the wheel up onto the bank. That's a good one. I can remember falling down there. When I first started riding, I had a tendency to look in front of the wheel, and what you end up doing is looking at every rock and every log and inevitably riding at it. So just have a little bit of confidence, look up, and you end up kind of just rolling over all of this stuff. This goes on and kind of on and on. It's one of the nicer ones, I think. Bit of a lip there. Gun it up. It stops halfway, and there's a road that cuts across it. I think it's an access road to a farm on the right hand side. And there's a couple of iron, not gates, but just a couple of iron post holes that always just kind of ruin my flow. So these are where the road crosses across it there. Sometimes these are up, sometimes these are down. I don't really understand what the story is. But definitely part 2 of Ride Lane, it gets rockier, and you can hear the rocks hitting your belly pan as you go along. think you come up to Mge Hole along here on the right hand side. Have we gone past it? So sweep round there and it takes you to Mge Hole. You come up and there's a Christmas tree farm, and then you drop down, and Mge Hole is rocky when it's sunny. So when it's been warm and dry, Mge Hole's really rocky. When it's wet, it's a stream. And I went down there last week and it was just a stream, just all the way from the top down to the bottom. One of the more technical ones, I think. And you're coming up to the end of it now. This gate's pretty new. Wasn't there 12 months ago. And then as you turn left here, you come out onto the main road. Not main road, you come out onto the road. And what you're going to do is a left and a left again. So where you see the post box on the right, and down here is Row Lane. Row Lane's just a gravel access path. People live on either side of this all the way down to the bottom, and yeah, you can drive this in your car. So look out for cars basically, and just at the top there was stables too. Nice and easy. You can do this in any weather. And as you come down here, you bear right. Now I'm going to check my navigation notes here, because on the map this looks like it should be 600 meters. But I've speeded it up because it doesn't half seem to go on for a long time to get from the end of Row Lane to the start of Pond Lane. I mean, this feels like a mile, but on the map it only looks like 600 yards. So I really don't know what's going on with my navigation. I must have that wrong. Anyway, don't know. This is the southern end of Pond Lane. Sandy in parts, some muddy parts. Generally nice though. This was the first green lane I ever did in Surrey when I got my old bike. Nice easy one, I think, this. As you come round the corner here, there's stables, I think, on the left-hand side. Might be stables on both sides, actually. There's the stables that we're thinking of. Nice bit of sand. Then it goes up a little bit of a hill and then you drop down into where the cottages are, just opposite the railway line. On your left there's the railway line that takes you into Gomshall and then Dorking and then over to Gatwick through the gate. There's the pedestrian crossing to take you over the railway line on the left hand side. And then this is half tarmac, half gravel. That brings you out onto Long Reach, I think it is. Then what we're going to do is take a left and that drops you down into Shere. Yeah, then here, that's it, I think. Turn left here, drops you down into Shere. So this is Shere. It's cute, isn't it? How did you find those lanes? They're quite nice, aren't they? So Ride Lane gets a little bit technical up towards the top, and if you ever come back down, do Mge Hole, and Mge Hole is pretty tricky, one of the trickier ones around here. Anyway, grab a cup of tea, get an ice cream, and relax a little bit, but we're done for today, so that's this episode done. In the next one, we'll be doing Wolvens, which has been through a bit of a transformation, and Pitch Hill, and depending upon the time, we may go up onto the North Downs and head back to drop over to the A3. Take care. See you soon. Bye.